All right, hello everybody. It is day 29. Almost there. Today's theme is pleasure. So we're going to do a feel-good technique. Feel-good technique is where we use some internal dialogue or memory or some other prompting in order to generate feel joy and feel good within our feel space, our emotional body. Um, and with that in mind, what we'll be using today is our favorite activities uh, to generate the feel goods. And then, of course, after we've generated the feel goods, we let go of the thoughts of the activities and just focus on how we feel and connecting to that goodness, that feeling of goodness. So like, for example, I love surfing with my daughter. So I will probably use some kind of image of that, or throwing the ball for the dog and watching the joy of the dog's face, or maybe you have a favorite activity of yours, like, I don't know, winter time skiing or snowboarding, playing uh, games or sports or family time, whatever activities come to mind, maybe just a great walk. But that's what we'll be working with today. So maybe start thinking of your favorite activity, and we'll see you on the other side. All right, here we go. Let's get started. For this one, you can just get in your favorite meditative posture or whatever you can do today. As usual, it's preferable if you can sit upright with a nice upright spine. And I'll invite you to go ahead and close your eyes at this time. And if you're not comfortable with that, you can always just do a soft gaze over the tip of your nose. And let's get started with 3 nice deep breaths together just to get stretched up and settled in. Let's go ahead and take a nice in breath. And whenever you get to the top, you can go ahead and start letting it out through your mouth or your nose, whatever works best for you. Get ready and just repeat that nice big deep inhale. Stretching up as we do that. Then we get to the top, we just exhale and try and settle down into maybe an even better posture than before, sinking and settling into place. And on this third nice big deep inhale, as deep as you can. And as we exhale, we're just going to let go of everything from the day to day and settle into our practice of feel good pleasure. So right away, I invite you to move to your see in or your hear in, where you might see images, your imagination within the internal sight category of see, and the internal hear, and maybe just imagine yourself doing your favorite activity or sport or whatever it is that's your favorite activity. I'll personally be thinking of sitting out on a longboard in the lineup on the waves, looking off to the sunset, just waiting for that next set of waves to come in. It's a very serene place. It makes me happy. And you might take whatever activity you conjured and just picture yourself there, enjoying the fruits of that pleasurable activity. And hopefully that's generated some an emotional feel in sensory experience. And we can just kind of drop that imagination, whatever that is, or just allow it to be, but turn our attention towards our emotional body, where we feel emotions within the body. And look around and see if we can find the joy and the pleasure of that activity and how it shows up within our emotional experience. It's all right if we're a little clunky the first time. We're having trouble figuring out what is the emotional body. Is that joy left over from my imagination, or is that just random sensation? So to help further define that, let's move back up into the inner C and the inner here and imagine that scenario of that activity again, whatever it is for you. Just imagine yourself there, participate. Maybe you can even have a sense of how it feels to be there, as well as what you would see and what you'd hear. If your mind begins to wander, it's okay. Just train it back to that activity that you've chosen and try to imagine yourself there, enjoying yourself to the fullest. And then we let go of the see and the hear side of that and just tune and train our attention to the feeling that we generated from imagining that experience. How does it feel? Where does that joy show up? What are the qualities of that feeling? Really soak into it. Establishing some sensory clarity as we connect with that feeling as deeply as possible. That feeling of joy. And it doesn't have to be any particular area of the body, it can be anywhere. Or maybe it can even be kind of a global joy sensation throughout the whole body. Any way you experience it is fine. We're just deeply observing its behavior as it arises or is it experienced. And then we just repeat. As soon as you can no longer detect that feel good, that feel joy, that pleasure that arises from the activity that you're using, you just go back up into the imagination and conjure up that feeling one more time. Or if you have other activities, you can imagine those scenarios as well. And then eventually you just drop it and move to the feel. The focus of this practice is how the joy shows up. That's what we want to narrow our focus down. We're just using the imagination to prompt. Go ahead at your own pace. You get lost, your mind begins to wander, or we get off track at all. It's perfectly normal. It's all part of the practice. Every time we notice that and retrain our attention back to our practice, it's an exercise of the mind. You're strengthening your concentration skills. I'm doing great. The emotions are strong. It's fine. It's great. We're just working on our equanimity as we just observe it as it energy rises up and strong sensation of the joy or love or pleasure or happiness that arises from that activity. Just allow it to flow freely. And if it dissipates, you just start over, generate it again. All right, wherever you're at, we're going to start to wrap it up. I hope you were able to generate some feel good throughout this process and just kind of let that reverberate throughout the rest of your day until its natural conclusion. And with that, I invite you to open up your eyes if they were closed. That was day 29. Pleasure. We did a feel good practice using our favorite activities. So I hope that was a great way for you to connect with the emotional body of the feel in. And we'll get ready for day 30 tomorrow. And day 30 will be meditator's choice. So I invite you to go back through and look at all the different techniques that we've done over the last 29 days. And if there's one that stands out to you, your favorite, or one that you want to work on, or whatever comes up for you, be ready. And you will be doing lightly guided meditation tomorrow. I'll just be guiding you a little bit to get you started, but you'll be guiding yourself in your favorite technique. But I'll be practicing with you doing mine. So, all right, we'll see you tomorrow on day 30. Thanks for joining me today. Aloha.